Hello students, today we are going to read the third chapter of our snapshot book. Its author is Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. In this chapter, the narrator expresses love for his village Hosahalli. This is a small village in Mysore, that is Karnataka. Ranga's marriage. Ranga was a young man. He was the first one from Hosahalli village to be sent to study in Bangalore. Ranga has different views about marriage, but opposite to it, he marries a girl chosen by the narrator unknowingly. So we will read about Ranga's marriage in this chapter, and meanwhile the author keeps on narrating the traditions of his village. He praises many things which were there in his village. Now let's start with the chapter. Ranga, the accountant's son, is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. Ranga, he was the son of an accountant. He is one of those rare breed. Rare breed means it uncommon. It was not common to go to city for further studies during those days. So he was among those who went to city of Bengaluru to study further. So that's why he has been called as one of the rare breed, uncommon one. When he returns to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowd mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. And this happens so in the village that when anyone comes from city after spending a few years, it is very usual that the people go to see whether the person has changed or not. So was there in that city, in that village also, that when he returns from Bangalore to his village, the crowds mill around his house. The crowds gather around his house. Mill means gather, to see whether he has changed or not, because they wanted to see whether Ranga has changed or not after spending so many years in city. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? But his ideas regarding marriage have been changed, or these have not been changed. Let's decide by reading the chapter. The author says so. When you see this title, some of you may ask, Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijaya? Well, yes, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannatha Vijaya or Girja Kalyana. But then this is not about Jagannatha's victory or Girja's wedding. It is about our own Ranga's marriage, and hence no fancy title. The author says that when you see this title, some of you may ask a question, Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranganatha Viva? It could be, the title could be Ranganatha Viva or Ranganatha Vijaya. The author says that he could have used some other impressive titles. Mouth filling means, here it means impressive. Impressive titles like Jagannatha Vijaya, Girja Kalyana. But then this is not about Jagannatha's victory, but actually this is not about the victory of Jagannatha or about the wedding of Girja. So how could he give those titles? It's about our own Ranga's marriage. It is about our own Ranga's marriage. See the affection the author has for his village boy. So very affectionately he calls that it is about our own Ranga's marriage, and hence no fancy title, and that's why he has not given any impressive title like that. It is the title is only Ranga's marriage. Hosahalli is our village. What is the name of author's village? Hosahalli. You must have heard of it. No, what a pity. But it is not your fault. There is no mention of it in any geography book. The author says that you must first he asks the readers that they must have heard of Hosahalli, but then he answers himself, no, no, have you not heard? What a pity. It is a matter of pity, but it is not the reader's fault because there is no mention of this village in any geography book. Those sahibs in England writing in English probably do not know that such a place exists and so make no mention of it. The writers in England who have been writing so many articles, etc., they probably do not know that such a place exists. They don't know about this village at all, and so make no mention of it. And that's why they don't mention this village in their writings. Our own people too forget about it. What to say of English writers? Even our own writers, they also, our own people, they also forget about this village. You know how it is? They are like a flock of sheep. Because Indian writers, they are like a flock of sheep. One sheep walks into a pit, the rest blindly follow it. When one sheep it goes towards a pit, the rest of the sheep started following that sheep. So this is the same way because the English writers have not mentioned. That's why the Indian writers also they are following the same tradition and they don't mention that village in their books. When both the Sahibs in England and our own geographers have not referred to it, you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember to put it on the map, can you? When both, who are both the Sahibs in England, the writers of England, and our own geographers and India's geographers, they have not referred to this village, they have not mentioned about this village. How can the readers expect that the poor cartographer, what is the meaning of cartographer? Cartographer is a person who draws map. So how can a cartographer remember to mention that place on the map? Can you expect, can the readers expect that the poor cartographer will mention that village in the map? And so there is not even the shadow of our village on any map. And that's why we find no mention of this village Hosahalli on any map. It has not been mentioned in any village in any map, sorry. It has not been mentioned in any map by any cartographer. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another direction. Now the author apologizes to the readers that he had started with a different topic and now he has deviated from his topic and he has gone to another direction. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha what the sweet Kariga Dabu is to a festive meal, then Hosahalli is to Mysore state that the what the filling is to the Kariga Dabu. Now the author takes an example of a sweet dish and he wants to tell what is the importance of that village in Mysore. So by through this example he wants to explain this thing about the importance of Hosahalli in Mysore. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha, what the sweet Kariga Dabu is to a festive meal, means the whatever is the importance of Mysore. Mysore means Karnataka. Mysore is in Karnataka. So whatever is the importance of Mysore to Bharatvarsha, it has great importance. This state, Karnataka, has a great importance in Bharatvarsha, that is India. So the sweet Kariga Dabu is a sweet which is eaten in South India. It is a fried sweet, we can say, that has a filling of coconut or sugar inside it. We may call it gujia. You understand what is gujia? You eat during holy days. So this is like gujia. It is a fried sweet. So the what gujia is always made with a filling. There is a filling inside. So the filling has been compared to village Hosahalli. So the author says that the sweet Kariga Dabu has an importance. It is considered as a festive meal which is used during festivals. Then Hosahalli is to Mysore state. So or Hosahalli is like a filling which is used in that sweet dish. So whatever is the importance of Kariga Dabu in a festive meal, that the same importance is there of Hosahalli to Mysore state. What I have said is absolutely true. Believe me, I will not object to your questioning it, but I'll stick to my opinion. The author asserts that whatever he has said is absolutely true and the reader should believe him. I won't object to her questioning it, but I'll stick to my opinion. Even if you question regarding it, I'll stick to my opinion. I am firm regarding my opinion. I am not the only one who speaks glowingly of Hosahalli. We have a doctor in our place. Now he says that he is not the only one who speaks glowingly of Hosahalli, that he is not the only person who speaks with great pride. Glowingly means with great pride or satisfaction. Who speaks proudly about Hosahalli. We have a doctor in our place. There are others also who are also proud of this village. We have a doctor in our place, in our village. We have a doctor. His name is Gunda Bhatta. He agrees with me. He also agrees with the author regarding his views about Hosahalli. He has been to quite a few places. The doctor has visited a few places. No, not England, but he has not visited England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says, "No, Anaya, I have left that to you." If anyone asks that doctor whether he has visited England, he says, "No, Anaya." Anaya means it is a word which is used to show respect to elders in South India. So, means no, bhaiya, I have felt that, I have left that to you. I have left the visiting England, I have left that matter to you. Running around like a flea pestered dog is not for me. I have seen a few places in my time, though, as a matter of fact, he has seen many. The doctor says further that if anyone asks him whether he has been to England, so he says that he has left that to him, means um, one can easily visit England. He has not visited. Running around like a flea pestered dog. Flea pestered dog means, it means that a dog who is which is troubled by fleas, by pests, troubled by insects, pests. So that is flea pestered dog. Running around like a flea pestered dog is not for me. I don't like to roam about like a dog the who is troubled by, which is troubled by pests. I have seen a few places in my time, though I have visited some places, a few places in my time. As a matter of fact, he has seen many, but truth was that he had seen many places. But he says that I have seen only a few places. We have some mango trees in our village. Now, the author tells us about one other thing about his village, about the mangoes of his village. So we have some mango trees in our village. There were some mango trees in his village. Come visit us, and I will give you a raw mango from one of them. The author asked the readers to visit the village, and he would give them a raw mango from one of the trees. Don't eat it. The readers are advised not to eat the fruit, just like take a bite. Just they will take a bite from that fruit. The sourness is sure to go straight to your Brahmarandhara. The fruit is very sour. Raw mango is usually sour, So the sourness of that fruit will go straight to your brain. It will affect your brain fully. The Brahmarandhara, that is a soft part in a child's head. So here the author uses this expression, this idiomatic expression, we can say, to tell about the extreme sourness of mango. That mango was very sour. So that's why he has used this expression, that the sourness of that mango will just enter the Brahmarandhara, the soft part of your head. It will affect your head fully. I once took one such fruit home, and a chutney was made out of it. Now he narrates the incident that he had brought one such mango to his home, and he made a chutney out of that mango. All of us ate it. All of us ate that chutney. All of them, his family members, they ate that chutney. The cough we suffered from after that, it was when I went for the cough medicine that the doctor told me about the special quality of the fruit. The cough we suffered from, and after eating that chutney, all the family members, they suffered from cough, and then he had to go to a doctor for taking medicine, and then doctor told him about the special quality of the fruit, that the fruit was extremely sour. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around our village. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of village pond. Now, about after describing the mangoes of his village, he describes the creeper, the plants of the village. So just as the mango is special, so is everything. In the same way, everything else around his village was special. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. There was a pond in the village, and in that pond there grew a creeper. Its flowers are a feast to behold, and the flowers of this creeper, these were like a feast. Feast, we can say dawat. So that was like a feast to be held, to behold. Means it was very means these flowers were very attractive, you can say. Get two leaves from the keeper when you go to the pond for your bath, and you will not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meal. Even the leaves of that creeper, these are used in serving meals. So you can get two leaves from the creeper, and the leaves are so big that when you go to pond for taking bath, and when you return, you won't have to worry about that you don't have anything on which the afternoon food can be served, because you can easily serve your afternoon meals on those leaves. You will say, I am rambling. Now he keeps on saying, he keeps on asking the authors, oh sorry, asking the audience, the readers. He asks the readers, you will say, I am rambling. Rambling, what is the meaning of rambling? That wandering. Here it means the wandering from the main topic, deviating from the main topic. So you will say that I am wandering from the main topic. I am exaggerating the things. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up. It always happens. Whenever I talk about my village, I just deviate from the main topic and start narrating the things of my village. But enough. If anyone of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. I will let you know where Hosahalli is and what things are like here. It's now enough. If any one of you, if any person from amongst the readers would like to visit that village, he should write to the author. Drop me a line. He should give message to the author. I will let you know where Hosahalli is. It refers to author himself. He would tell them where Hosahalli is situated, and what things are like here, and what are the things which are there in Hosahalli. The best way of getting to know a place is to visit it. Don't you agree? Now he asks the readers that the best way of if we want to know about a place, so the best way to know a place is to visit that place. Don't you agree with this thing? What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. Now comes the real story of the chapter. The author says that what he is going to tell the readers is something that happened 10 years ago. It happened 10 years ago. We did not have many people who knew English then. At that time, there were not many people in his village who knew English. Our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. And what is Bangalore nowadays called? It is called Bengaluru. But at that time, it was called Bangalore. Our village accountant was the first one. The village accountant of Hosahalli, he was the first one who had courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. He was the first one who sent his son to Bangalore for further studies. It is different now, but now it is different. Now the things are different. There are so many who go to city for further studies. There are many who know English, and there are many persons who know English. But at that time, when this chapter was written, at that time, very few people knew English. During the holidays, you come across them on every street talking in English. Nowadays, there are so many who talk in English, and during holidays, you can meet so many persons on every street who would be talking in English. Those days we did not speak in English, nor did we bring in English words while talking in Kannada. During those days, they did not speak in English, nor they used English words while talking in Kannada. Kannada is a language which is spoken in South India. What has happened is disgraceful. The author considers this very insulting when English words are used while talking in Kannada language. So he says, what has happened, whatever, now English words are mixed while speaking Kannada, but the author considers it disgraceful. Believe me, the other day I was in Rao's house when they bought a bundle of firewood. Now he is telling us about, telling the readers about an incident the other day. It happened one day that he was in Rama Rao's house. He was there in Rama Rao's house when they bought a bundle of firewood. At that time, Rama Rao's family members, they were buying a bundle of firewood. Firewood is a fuel uh, which was used to cook food. So they were buying a bundle of firewood. Rama Rao's son came out to pay for it, and Rama Rao's son, he came out of his house to pay for it, to pay for that bundle of firewood. He asked the woman was selling firewood. So he asked the woman, how much should I give you? How much he should pay for that bundle? 4 pice, she said. The woman answered that the cost of that bundle was 4 pice. The boy told her he did not have any change and asked her to come the next morning. The Ramarao's son, he told that lady that he did not have any change, there was no change, and so he asked that lady to come the next morning. The poor woman did not understand the English word change. Now that lady, she could not understand what did that word change mean, and went away muttering to herself. And she went away muttering means murmuring to herself. I too did not know. At that time, the author also did not know what was the meaning of change. Later, when I went to Ranga's house and asked him, I understood what it meant. Later, when he went to Ranga's house and he asked him, then he understood what was the meaning of the word change. This priceless commodity, the English language, was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. This priceless commodity, priceless means very valuable. This valuable thing, the English language, was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. Decade means it is of 10 years. So 10 years ago, it was not so prevalent in that village. He calls English language as the priceless commodity, very valuable thing. So it was not prevalent, it was not widespread in their village 10 years ago. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event, and that's why when Ranga returned to his home, it was a great event for the people. People rushed to his doorstep announcing, the accountant's son has come. People rushed means ran to his doorstep to his towards his home, announcing the, and what did they say, the now the an accountant's son has come, because he was the son of village accountant. So they said that accountant's son had come back. The boy who had gone to Bangalore for his studies is here, it seems. And they told that the boy who had gone to Bangalore for further studies has now returned. It appears so. It seems means it appears. And come Ranga is here. Let's go and have a look. And somebody said, come, let's go to Ranga's house because Ranga has returned, and let's go and have a look. We should go to his house and we should see how he looks, whether he has changed or not, because they had a belief that Ranga might have changed a lot after spending so many years in Bangalore. Attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood in the courtyard and asked, why have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here. Attracted by the crowd. The author was also attracted by the crowd, so he also went there and he stood in the courtyard and asked, why have all these people come? Why so many persons have gathered here? There is no performing monkey here. I don't see any monkey who is performing, means who is playing his tricks. A boy, a fellow without any brains, said loud enough for everyone to hear. What are you doing here then? A youngster, immature and without any manners. Thinking that all these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. A boy, there was a boy, a fellow without any brains. There was a that boy didn't have brains, means he was just a foolish boy. Said loud enough, and he was speaking in a loud voice, so that everyone may hear it. What are you doing here then? Why have you come here? A youngster, immature and without any manners. He was a youngster, that boy was a youngster, immature, he didn't have maturity, and he didn't have any manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past. I thought the author thought that these things were of the past, so he kept quiet. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. And Ranga also came out of his house when he saw that so many people had gathered there, and when he came out, he was smiling. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of Calcutta. Had all the persons, if all the persons who had gathered there, if all of them had gone inside his house, the the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of Calcutta. The place would have turned into black hole. Black hole of Calcutta. There is a place in Kolkata where Britishers kept the prisoners. That place is called black hole. That was a like a cell where prisoners were kept. So if all of them had entered the house of Ranga, the house would have been converted into black hole of Kolkata. Means there were so many. The author wants to tell us that there were a large crowd who had come to see Ranga. Thank God it did not. Thank God it did not convert into black hole, because the persons were standing outside the house. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago when he had first left our village. And now whosoever had come there, everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same. He had not changed even a bit as he had been 6 months ago. As he was 6 months ago when he had first left our village. When he had left their village, he had not changed. An old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes, and said, "The Janevara is still there." There was an old lady who was near him, who was standing near Ranga, ran her hand over his chest. She uh, touched Ranga's chest with her hand, and she looked into his eyes and said, "The Janevara is still there." Janevara is the sacred thread worn by Brahmins. We call it Janeyu. He has not lost his caste. She was satisfied that he is still wearing Ranga is still wearing the Janeyu, which is a sacred thread which Brahmins wear. And that means that he has not lost his caste, he has not lost his values. She went away soon after that, and after saying this, she went away from there, and Ranga started laughing. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hands, legs, eyes, and nose, the crowd melted away like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. And once the people realized that Ranga still had the same hands, means he had not changed. His hands were same, legs, eyes, nose, all things were same. The crowd melted away. The crowd dispersed from there like a lump of sugar in a child mouth. Like we put a lump of sugar in child's mouth and it soon melts away. In the same way, the crowd also disappeared from the sight after being satisfied that Ranga was the same and he had not changed even a bit. I continued to stand there, and the author, he was still standing there. After everyone had gone, I asked, and when everyone had gone from there, the author asked, "How are you, Rangappa?" He asked Ranga how he was. "Is everything well with you? Was everything okay with him?" It was only then that Ranga noticed me. Only at that time Ranga noticed the author, because there was such a great crowd, such a huge crowd, that Ranga could not see that author was there. He came near me, he came near the author and did a namaskara respectfully, saying, "I am all right with your blessings." And he told the author that he was all right with his blessings, and he uh, came near the author and did namaskara, and he very respectfully he bade him respect. He bade him namaskar.